Sound check.
Sound check.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. Looks like we are live. So, we heard.
Aldric, you good there?
We heard Jen being a mom. Nova, seriously, get down right now.
Seriously. Please don't jump off the furniture.
So tonight, it's Jen's night. So we're excited to have her on our Bottoms Up Perspective show. She's going to be hosting, and tonight's just a fun, very relaxed episode where she's going to ask the boys some questions, and we're going to just be transparent and authentic. It's a time where you guys can get to know us a bit.
I'm not so sure. I'm relaxed. So, anyways.
I should have mailed you some lavender oil for this show to put on a little bit of a relaxing something to help you relax, or suggested some type of alcoholic beverage. Yes.
That could work.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for having me on here again. Always love to hang out with you guys. So it's definitely an honor and a pleasure. So I'm going to wait here until Aldric jumps back on before I start asking these questions. We'll give him 1 second. Otherwise, we'll start here without him. So.
Yeah, I think it's back.
There
okay,
he
cool.
is. There he is. Yes. All right. I was just saying thank you, Aldric, for having me back on here. It's such a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Pretty cool crew, and according to Aldric, I'm going to decimate you guys tonight. So get ready for the questions. So this is basically just a chance to get to know everybody better and just have a little fun while we're doing it. So are you ready, Are you ready, DeJesus?
I am ready.
Okay, so I'm going to start out really light for you guys, and then we're going to get deeper and deeper, okay? Yeah, so I'm just rubbing the skin here, okay? So what's the phone app that you use most?
Phone app.
Phone app. Like, what's the number one phone app that you click on and use the most?
LinkedIn all day.
For me, it's a toss between LinkedIn and WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
I would think so. LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Actually, it depends on which app has the most number of notifications. For me. So if I start to see like the notification number is in the high double digits, I know that I'm screwed, and I better just check what's going on, right? So
okay, so I have
so mine's LinkedIn and Outlook. Jen's gonna skip me tonight, I think.
I'm skipping. Yeah.
I don't get to speak.
No, it actually made me curious now. I'm like, how many apps does Aldric have on his phone if he's watching for how many notifications on all these apps? So, but yes, thank you, Kevin. Okay, now we're going to get to more fun stuff. If you were stranded on an island, okay?
Oh man, not this kind of question.
Yes. Don't worry. We're going to go back and forth with a lot of different topics here. Okay. If you're stranded on an island, what product could you not live without? I know Jeremy's going to love this one, being the retail guy. So,
oh my goodness,
what product would you not want to be stuck somewhere without?
Hey guys, just remember, this question's important because it's whether we get sponsorships for the show in the future.
I can answer for Kevin.
Colgate.
Colgate.
Arm & Hammer. Because it's toothpaste for me. I hate when my teeth are dirty. So it's toothpaste all day long. It's not even close.
Okay, toothpaste. I can guess for Kevin. I'm gonna say toilet paper.
Yes, I need toilet paper.
Oh, I had to do that.
Did you just say that like toilet paper? Like, okay.
Yes.
I mean, that's what leaves are for. You ever watch Survivor?
I'm not a survival kind of guy.
Yeah, but you can't brush your teeth with like bug juice. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, have you ever heard of neem leaves? So if they have neem leaves on the island, that's actually really great for your teeth.
oh, see, I learned something new today. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
NEEM. They use it a lot in Asia.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, come on, Jennifer. He's a New Yorker.
not-
Oh,
Hey.
come on. He's a New
We don't
Yorker,
do
right?
stuff like
I mean,
that
like,
around
the
here.
only forest that he sees is probably Central Park or something like that. Come on, give him a break.
We're sitting around a round table having some drinks and we're educating one another. Okay.
Okay. I get that.
Okay. So what about you, Jeremy?
I'm still thinking. Tim, you said toothpaste, toothbrush, toothpaste.
I can do it
Paste.
with my finger, but I gotta have the
I'll go with toothbrush. Really, I don't need the paste, but probably the brush. Hate having things stuck in between the teeth. You know, not that I'm gonna get any food when I'm stranded on the island. I think, but at least my teeth will look pretty when I die.
toothpaste.
All right, Aldric.
Very interesting question because there was actually a period in time where I was looking for private islands. Like literally, I just wanted to go off grid. So
That's such a Aldric thing to do.
You will
expected. I'm not gonna answer that question directly.
wait. Hold on.
Aldric's
You're looking
so
to
random.
you're looking to buy a private island. You're looking to buy a private island.
He would
I
totally
think-
buy a private island
If you
Whoa.
go Google,
all day long.
if you go Google and you look for islands for sale, I think you can find a decent size island for about 600,000 USD. But
That's not bad.
everything's on you. You own the island title. So I'm just thinking your question is on the island, and if the island is mine, then I don't have to worry about anything, right? Then the only thing that I'll worry about is transport, maybe like a helicopter or some boat so that I can access somewhere else. But
Nice.
if I'm like washed ashore,
Yes, you're washed ashore
if
in this
I'm washed
scenario.
ashore,
Yes.
I would
No
think
luxury.
I wanted to say smartphone. I wanted to say my phone.
Yes.
Because I can access the world. But I figured that if it's really an isolated island somewhere that's not tracked by Google Map or things like that, I probably wouldn't have 4G, 3G, or edge network. So I'm still like off. Then I think it would just be something that is very simple. A journal.
A journal. A
Yeah.
journal.
So if I go away and if the island gets discovered, at least there's a little something that can be released posthumously, I think.
So what if you have a journal but no pen? How would that work?
Oh, come on, that's
Blood.
it look like
You're right with blood.
You should ask Timothy just now, right? Like toothpaste. Oh, come on, you can use sea salt, isn't it? Like our grandpa used sea salt to clean the teeth.
Man,
You
you know
didn't
how
ask
Sand.
sensitive your teeth would be? Sea salt? Your teeth would be.
You can use sand.
What are you talking about?
And but it's natural.
Oh, if you want to get really technical, it's an island that you would actually get stranded on. There's possibly lava rock somewhere around there, even in the bottom of the ocean, which can be used for many things, including cleaning teeth, maybe writing. Just a thought there. I don't know.
Whatever. Just give me some toothpaste.
Okay, toothpaste.
Toilet
All right.
It will
paper.
deplete it eventually, Like that tube is.
So I think I've gotten so addicted. I know I'm not the one supposed to answer the questions, but I think even if this didn't work, I would just want it to make me feel good and just carry it around the island.
For
I
a
don't
few
know.
hours.
I don't know, but
limited to the battery.
yeah, for my
Yeah.
mental health, just to know that, someday I might get away and it'll work again. Okay.
We got a
Anyway,
good question from Frank Kenny. So I would like to answer this, right? He asked, how did each of you come together? By what paths did you guys come to meet up? So
that's a good question.
So has it been how many months ago when I reached out to you, Jeremy? And
I think it was in February, because I think our first chat was in late March, so it could be in late February or early March.
Yeah, so around late February, I had the idea of, hey, I've been trying to reach out to
So 6
just
months.
people in Asia, reach out to my roots, I guess, and just talking to different people because I noticed there's not much Asians that are very active on creating content, right? So I was on the hunt for Asians that were outspoken in the community. And then I noticed Aldric was killing it on content, right? And then he had a picture with Jeremey on LinkedIn. So I reached out to them and then we connected. And it started with just getting to know each other. And then we kind of just hit it off and decided, hey, let's do something together. And here's Bottoms Up Perspective. And it's really a way for us to just be transparent and talk about trending topics. And then I think Tim was on our second episode, right?
Yeah, I saw you guys. I saw you post for the first episode. I caught it later while I was working out. I watched the whole thing, and I was like, "This is awesome." And I forget if I reached out to Kevin or Aldric, but
I think it was me. Me.
Yeah.
And
you guys invited me, and I said, "Heck yeah, I want to be on."
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that things don't really move as planned. We have to try, and then we see how things goes. Like before Timothy actually reached out to me to join Bottoms Up Perspective, I caught the attention of his contents too because it was very straight shooter and no nonsense kind of content, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Coming from it fits into the way I think about New Yorkers. As in when I was in New York twice, and once for business, once for leisure. I was introduced to a culture of this thing called the New York Minute. I don't know if that still works. It's like 1 minute, so many things would have happened that you lost track of what's going on, and I love the hype. So Timothy fits into the idea, the kind of idea that I have of a New Yorker. And when I read his content, it's like, oh man, this guy is like real. And then after that, I think there was one piece of content where you say you follow these guys for their contents and you listed me, and then so that impression anchored. So when you asked me, right, it was a no-brainer for me. So from episode 2 onwards, it became a gang of 4. I think that's how we really got started. Episode 1 was more of a trial and error, if I'm not wrong, Kevin.
Yeah. And tonight we got my kids in the episodes.
Yeah, Kevin, you may have to be of service at this moment.
But that's how we got to know each other, and then we noticed there's so much on LinkedIn. A lot of the shows are very similar, and which is great. There's a lot of education podcast type shows. But there's not really a show for the common guy, right? So we started working on our mission and our trend and how we want to do the show, right? So, yeah, that's how we all got to know each other.
That's a great question.
I actually knew Aldric from work. I guess it was 5 years ago. So we were on different sites, sort of like a client, customer kind of a thing. Yeah, he was a consultant. Yeah, and then I remember he was very clear and precise on what he needed. I thought this guy's got something going on, and then we just I think we just caught up over coffee, right? Just out of the blue, I think we saw something in each other, not the love of a lifetime kind of thing. so we just sat down, had coffee. we thought that so we thought that we had kind of like a similar kind of a thinking. Still also different at the same time, and we caught up like once every few months thereafter, and so that was one of the times when I caught up with him for coffee, and then we took a picture, and then Kevin talked to us. So that was
you guys don't really you don't live too far apart, but you're also not in the same area of Singapore. Is that correct?
We're both on the if you go by the metro lines, we're both on the east side, right? But
okay,
a little bit
so not
apart.
too far.
Singapore's not big. Yeah, Singapore's not huge.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm closer to the central.
Okay.
I'm closer to the central. I think Jeremey, it's.
I'm closer to the airport.
In Australian terms, it would be suburban ring one or circle one, just the very first one.
Okay.
Outside
Yeah.
of the CBD. Yeah.
Okay.
Australian terms, I mean.
So that brings me to my next question, since we're talking about coffee time. Okay, these are just simple but fun. But I'm actually, since you guys went to coffee together, I want Jeremey and Aldric to start to answer this question for each other.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna see how much you guys know about each other, since you're
Oh no.
yeah. So how do you take so how does Aldric take his coffee? And Aldric, how does Jeremey take his coffee?
Oh, that's not good. I think I can't remember. I'll go with black coffee without sugar. It's a gas. Am I right? Aldric?
I do black coffee with less sugar.
Less
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah, quite close.
Oh, that's
Almost.
pretty good. Save money. I agree. Save money. Okay, Aldric.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if Jeremey is a coffee guy.
So are we tea or?
I think so. But I might be wrong. Here because whenever I meet him, I always focus on our conversation and the environment around us rather than what he's consuming.
Exactly.
Especially when it's Starbucks, you can't really see the color of the content. Yeah.
So I'm training you. So next time you go in, you either listen to what he's ordering, or you have to say what did you get, Jeremey? So Jeremey, is he hot or cold or warm?
Tea. I don't drink coffee. I used to when I was very young. So tea is on point. But if there's a non-Starbucks kind of tea and a Starbucks kind of tea, right? So if it's non-Starbucks kind of tea, like some neighborhood coffee place, it'll just be we call it teo, which is tea black but with sugar. I just go full on sugar. I'm a sugar addict. And if it's Starbucks kind of tea, I guess the frappuccino green tea kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah.
Ooh, wow. Green tea latte. Have you ever tried one of those? Those are amazing.
No, lattes in the realm of coffee, right?
No, green tea latte is actually made with matcha. It's just matcha and like steamed milk, and then they sweeten it. Starbucks is amazing if they have that there. Yeah. Okay. Timothy, you want to go next?
Yeah, simple. A little bit of cream, 2 Truvia, which is like stevia. So nice and simple.
Awesome. Kevin?
What about Kevin?
I used to drink black coffee when I was in the corporate world. And then in the last couple years, Jen has influenced me into these foo-foo milks. So it's, like oat milk, hemp milk.
Hemp milk, soy milk. You do a lot of soy milk.
Natural milk stuff, right?
Right.
So so I've been doing that. I am big on drinking Asian hot tea. I like the jasmine pearl, where it's roll up really tight, and I like the ones that you can buy in Asia. And but right now with COVID-19, no one's spraying me tea. So feel free, Aldric, Jeremey. You can send me tea.
By the way, this is my go-to tea. Yeah. Now we talk about product endorsement.
Oh, Jeremey.
Kirin lemon tea. Lemon tea.
Hey, when we come to Singapore, I'm gonna need to try that.
No, it's definitely available in New York. I saw it in one of those small supermarkets. So Timothy, you can try it.
So Jeremey, Aldric, do you guys drink Waitalai?
Wow, bitter soy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I only do the what you call the lemon tea version of bitter soy. Yeah.
Okay.
How
I used to be that I drink soy milk quite frequently, but until I think it was a couple of years ago, I started to see a lot more research papers that talks about it being healthy or not healthy, and and then something struck me like, hey, there couldn't be just an outburst of papers coming from the medical fraternity or the product companies, right? So I figured, okay, for safety, I'm just getting off. So I didn't drink that anymore. And okay, so no judgment pass and things like that. I actually feel better. Like okay, like and I started drinking oat milk. So Oatly at home. Just half a cup or something like that. I think I feel better. Yeah.
I agree with you. I actually took Kevin off of soy milk, and he only has soy milk lattes when he goes to Starbucks, because I also came across research that talk about men growing certain body parts, and I was very concerned. So I go, Kevin, you're done, man. You're done. No, none of that. So
grow some man boobs.
Yeah, because of the hormones. Yeah, because of the hormones, it actually said that if you take it in large quantities, that it can actually, and you know, as more of an Asian, we consume more Asian products in our home, and so with the Daofu, you know, all of that stuff, it's too much of the soy. So, but I love the flavor of it, and I absolutely love like a vanilla soy milk latte. Oh my gosh, it's out of this world. So,
and I just want to bring this up since we are on LinkedIn. So I know there's a lot of professionals out there. I think when Jen asked this question about coffee or tea, right? Back pre-COVID, right, when we did face-to-face meetings, I made an effort to always pay attention to my meetings with potential new clients, what they actually drank.
Yes.
And so that's because it's in the small details that really matter, because the next time you meet with them, you will be surprised the impact you make by knowing how they drink their coffee, or if they don't drink coffee or they drink caffeinated, that you will make an impact on your potential client. It's huge. So, yeah.
I have that thinking in line with you, but not so much about what they do, not so much about what's going on within the table that we have. I will start paying attention from the moment we meet to the moment we enter the store to the moment we get to our seat. I'll start paying attention to what he or she is looking at. Why is he looking at this direction? Is there something there that caught his attention? And then I'll try to strike a conversation. The innocent ones like, oh, what caught your attention? You know, like, so this, and then I'll say like, I find this weird because you know, the colors don't really blend. So I know, okay. So in my mental script, it's like, okay, he or she is looking for some form of a pleasant combination. He or she is looking for this. He pays attention to this kind of thing. So to me, I'll pay attention to what they are paying attention first, and then the drinks would be if I still have the storage room to remember. But in principle, I do the same thing as you, Kevin.
So interesting thing about Kevin, I mean, I hope you guys don't mind. I mean, he's the only one I know really well, so I can kind of bring up some stuff. So something interesting is sometimes he might want the latte, but because he's had other coffee that day, or because he's thinking about, I don't want to spend $5 for a coffee, he will just get a quick black drip, you know. I noticed also some people who are more careful with money, or who visit coffee shops a lot, like have a lot of meetings in coffee shops business-wise, they will order a lot of times just drip with some milk and sugar, or just black straight up, in order to save money. Because when you're going all the time, if you want to be careful with your money, $5 for one cup definitely adds up in your budget really quick. And so it actually tells some things about people. Are they careful with money? Now that's where I put most of mine, but we'll move on to the next question.
Don't take them to Starbucks. So
I promise you, no matter how many times I go, I will get a latte every single time. Thank you, Kevin. I love you. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so I'm gonna have some funny questions too, but I also think it would be fun just to know, like, what is your favorite memory growing up? What's something that, I mean, that pretty well explains it.
Favorite memory.
Favorite memory growing up.
Back to little boyhood.
All right. My favorite memory growing up are family holidays, eating the family holidays. That's my favorite memory going on. Getting together with extended family, and just the joy and everybody cooking together. Those are my favorite memories, personally.
I love that. That's
That's
awesome.
good.
That's really good. Jeremy, Aldric, Kevin.
Let Kevin go
Sure.
first.
Let me go first. I have to think about this one. So this is kind of interesting, okay? So my father raised pigeons, right? So in the US, pigeons aren't very popular. But in Asian countries, like in Hong Kong, a lot of times they'll have these balconies and they'll have pigeons. So when we came to the US, the type of pigeons we had in Hong Kong, we could purchase is called homing pigeons, right? So they're like your passenger, like male pigeons, right? So they're different. But when we first came to the US, my father saw pigeons in the streets, right? So they're just wild pigeons, right? The pigeons that most Americans try to get rid of. So, so me and my father would go to apartment complexes like at night. And thank God it's not today, because we would have been shot probably. Random, we don't even live in those apartment complexes. And my dad will bring a ladder. Okay, so here's this Chinese guy and his probably 8-year-old son going to random commercial buildings, apartment buildings, midnight hours, 11:30 p.m. with a ladder. And we would climb up and we would double team on catching pigeons. And so we can bring it back home because we built this loft thing, okay? And back then, we just came to the U.S. So my father didn't know, very good English. We're immigrants, it's a great formula to get shot, now that I look back. But as a kid, I thought it was the funnest thing ever. So I really look forward to it, because when we immigrated, my dad was your typical immigrant, right? He worked at a Chinese restaurant. So pretty much he would go to work at 9 a.m. and he would work till 10 p.m. On the weekend, we would go on these pigeon excursions to catch wild pigeons, right? But then he doesn't get off work till 9:30, and he takes a shower at 10, and then he'll take his son out, and it's probably already 11 midnight. And for a little boy with his little flashlight, it was like the funnest thing ever. And now I look back, we're so lucky we never got killed. Because if someone came to my house with a ladder to catch pigeons, I would be pretty scared,
Was that in Hong Kong in the 80s?
No, it was in the U.S. So we moved to the U.S. in 87. So it was around 88, 89. Yeah. But I remember that very clearly because it was, it's like an adventure, right? It was really fun.
That was epic. I love that.
That is awesome.
Aldric, you want to go first?
Okay. Favorite memories growing up would be, fortunately or unfortunately, the memories that really anchor in my head now, unfiltered, are those times that I had with my aunt. A lot, and they are very vivid. So like Saturday mornings in her office, she interviewing people, we sitting beside her, my cousin and me. My cousin is her firstborn son, right? And we would just sit there and think wow, this is interesting. It's better than school. And money lessons, it came from my aunt. Don't be stupid about money was her mantra. And then I would be, over the weekend, I always felt like I learned so much more. It's like a weekend school. And then when I get back to like school on Monday, I felt like my entire spirit went away. It was like, this is math. It's not money. Like, okay. And to a point where my mom was actually, my mom had some personal objections because one of my form tutor, I think it was math, was telling my mom that, hey, your sum is very interesting. For those mathematical questions that's about dollars and cents, he'll get it absolutely right. But if I remove that icon, that dollar sign, in front of those numbers, it's either a blank or
Oh my gosh.
And my mom will be absolutely appalled, and she'll go crazy, and she'll start calling her sister because she knows that it's her. Hey, you know what's going on? That I'll be like, that's those were the things that really anchored. And then I remember that I was never in a rush to go home. I would like to be in the streets. I like to observe, literally. Like, let's say, if there's a policy that says that you have to wear a mask wherever you go, and the only exception is when you eat outside. So now we can eat at public places. You have to remove your mask, right? But there's one catch. Once you're done with your food, you have to put your mask back. So I'll start observing. Okay, so that's policy, right? But humans have their own way of thinking. I'll sit there and think. I'll sit there and observe. I realized, out of the blue, Singaporeans are eating a lot slower. Why?
Oh,
Now, why?
that's
Very interesting.
true.
I'll
Yeah.
sit there and I'll think, like, why? Like, why? And I realized that it is not about the eating, it's about the conversation. In order to have a fluent conversation, I can't have a mask, right? So when I remove my mask, I'm gonna eat very slowly, like high-end dining in a public place. Like, how's your day? Do you like the cupcakes? How about donuts? How is your kid? You know, what's Jaden doing? And then I watch the coffee store owner going absolutely crazy because back in their head they're worried that the inspectors are gonna come and say, "Hey, you're not enforcing it." Like, no, but they're still eating, right? So I would just sit there and watch this entire sitcom go on and on the whole day, just thinking like, oh wow, it's interesting. Like what the policymakers have in mind versus what people think about it. They adapt and they move. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And when I was younger, I did that. I went to the supermarkets. I walked around from the entrance to the door to the shelves. I'll start seeing. So there are multi-tier shelves, right? And I'll start realizing, how come the items right below the lower shelf, they are all cheap, very cheap, discounted, and they are not arranged nicely. But as I go up the shelf, when I was younger, I was much shorter, I could see that the prices increase, they stack nicely, and now that I'm an adult at my eye level, they are always the premium or the most bought items. I didn't learn that in school. I just walked around. I said, okay, I get it. So when people talk to me about how to get my products on the shelf, I would say, how much premium are you willing to pay? The highest premium will be the shelf level that's at our eye level of the average in Singapore, which is about 1.7 to 1.75. But if you don't believe in that, then you can get the cheapest one right below near where all the feet are, so
now I can definitely see like why you and Jeremy connect, because it was like you're a born retail guy, because isn't retail have a lot to do with psychology, the psychology of human and the human nature or reactions to different things, like the marketing even of the retail, what draws people, what do you put on what shelf, so that it seems like that you were already studying that. And then your passion was, I think your aunt was helping to begin to shape your thinking, and it became your passion, what you were learning about. That's why the weekend was more fun, because it was, something that interested you. So, yeah, that's awesome.
It was like an open sponge when I was with my aunt. My aunt had 2 children. Her second born wasn't very interested.
Sound effects.
Yeah. Her second born was really the ideal Singaporean child. She would just go study and get good grades, and her life revolved around the scores.
How about you, Jeremy?
Did our host just go away?
Yeah, she had to take care of some business. What about you, Jeremy?
What about you, Jeremy? I want to hear your story.
So I had a lot more time to think. So there are a few things that came in my head, but I'm not gonna go through all of them. I think for me, some of the more fun things have to do with fun stuff. Playing with friends, playing with my cousins over the weekends when they're here. Really just running crazy in the neighborhood, running amok, sweating, climbing up and down, and things like that. But one particularly fond memory is when I was in primary school, 11, 12 years old. Every Friday, we would I wouldn't say skip school. We would say that we have extra classes, and a few bunch of us would go out to a shopping mall, which is like half an hour away on bus in the east, and then we will have fun there. There's a place there called Fun World. So it's like you go in and play all these carnival games, but that's not the important point. The important point is when we have to go back. We have to cross this overhead bridge to the bus stop, and we used to prank people. How do we do that? So we get these tomato ketchup sachets from fast food restaurants, right? And then we'll squeeze them along the hand railing as people are coming down. The handrail on the steps that's coming down, and then we'll just stand a row and watch as people come down, holding their hands on the handrail, and then getting touched with this icky thing, which you're not sure what it is. Sometimes, and then we just watch the reaction and laugh ourselves silly there. So that was pretty fun, cheap entertainment, reality TV kind of thing. And when you're with a bunch of friends, it's just hilarious. So that's just one of the more memories that stuck in my head. Yeah, good times.
See, I love this because I feel that each of these things are showcasing your different passions or personalities, like what's meaningful, or what makes you laugh, or what you had fun doing. So I love that. So what this is actually going to tell me something else about you, and I think everybody else will enjoy this. What's the first thing that you look for in a friend? Like a characteristic of a friend that really means a lot to you. Like, this person has to have that characteristic for you to really grow in a friendship and respect them.
Integrity.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's
good one, Kevin.
That's a very strong one for a friend.
Yeah.
Because that would be the word that we'll use for a business partner. That would be the number one. Mm-hmm. Integrity. But anyway, sorry, Timothy, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Mine would be understanding, because I'm quirky as shit. So I don't want somebody who's gonna judge me, because that's just, I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I try not to judge people because I understand, because I'm weird and quirky. So I don't want somebody judging me for my quirkiness. So for me, it's understanding.
Well, good, because I think that's one of your best characteristics. So that's awesome. You're welcome. Thank you, Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy.
For me, I don't know. It's nothing particular. It's just a gut feel. I think maybe I've been around long enough. I don't know. It's just your sense of judge on gut feel of this person, be it how the person communicates, dresses, talks, little small mannerisms, and after that interaction, how you feel. What is it you get out of the person? The vibes, X factor, whatever you call it. It's just a dynamic thing. Whether you feel that, okay, I'm gonna stay away from this person, or this guy or girl looks interesting. Maybe we could be friends. I don't know, that kind of a thing. So I don't really have anything in particular. It's just something inside. Yeah.
I think for me, it's the ability to relate. But it goes both ways, because I'm someone I don't try to feel you out, as in I don't try to grow a friendship by, you're an acquaintance, so I hold back. But when I get to know you more, then you're more than an acquaintance. I let you know more of me, and then if you're a friend, you get to know more of me. I don't do that. I'm very open. I think that it's absolutely possible to be friends at first sight, like love at first sight, and but the only thing is that
first sight, huh?
That happened with you and
question.
Jeremy. Oh, and you and Timothy, so it works.
in a way, and how should I say this?
Friendship at first sight.
In a way that I'm weird because I don't look. I live in my own head here. Opinions don't really hit me. So let's say if someone has an opinion about Timothy and I'm his friend, other people's opinion about him doesn't matter except for my own. So I'm very straightforward, and of course my orientation in the way I see things makes it a little difficult because I'm very commercially oriented, right? So I don't look at the social impacts. I look at what's happening to the economy and then the social impacts and then how things are falling. So I think for friends that can really stay with me for long, they tend to also think along the same lines. Otherwise, it's very difficult. It's like I'm a fan and I'm a practitioner of marketing. That's why I think Jeremy, Kevin, and yourself, when we talk, there is some form of alignment. But I'm very commercially marketing. I'm not so much about the number of likes, and comments, or the reshares. I'm like, hey, okay, yeah, that's good, but that's just all I'm going to talk about today, and then I'm going to move on. So I think it's the ability to relate, but it goes both ways.
So what if somebody gave you a really bad first impression? They were having a bad day. They gave you a really bad first impression. How would that affect you then, Aldric?
Wow, that's a very powerful one.
Thank you. It took me all last night to think of it. I'm just joking. No, because you said you're saying I'm just very open and I'm not judging. But then what if someone came and then you're like, I'm so open, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But that's not really how they always are. That was how they are that night. So I just wondered.
I recognize that. But I just want to be a little specific in my responses. To the point where I always believe that there are two instances where we can make a first impression. One, when we first appear. Two, when we open our mouth. Right? We can appear very pleasant, professional, but the moment if I open my mouth and in the first 20 seconds of my conversation, all I say are things that are derogatory, or I put myself in a very bad position and things like that, my mental score could go from 80 right down to 60 and then 40 and 20, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's negative.
Okay, so I'll give you go ahead.
Yeah, and that little bit of detail that I want to talk about is that example that you gave, I tend to give a little bit more leeway when it comes to a female, and it's not gender bias, because I think sometimes when
I'm sorry.
Like when I can understand when emotions hijack.
Yes.
And therefore, you are not that kind of person over time, but that day, that evening, shit happens.
So you give people second and third chances to prove they're a nice person or whatever.
If they're female.
Yeah, so you're sitting at a coffee shop.
Joking.
You're sitting in a coffee shop. You've never met me before, okay? I'm 25 minutes late. I come in and I trip on the front door rug. I get up and I'm just like, I start crying.
Hang on. If you're 25 minutes late, I will not be there anymore.
So you won't see me trip on the rug and cry. So you won't see me trip on the rug and cry. Okay, we can move on now. Okay. Okay.
No. Before we move on, I just find it very contradictory, right?
Yeah.
If she's a lady, oh no, it's not gender bias.
I know, right?
No, the point is not about the gender bias thing, but the point is that I try to give more leeway to people that I know or I don't. I try to use I try to give reasons why you are like that. But
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Prove me otherwise, I'm going. Like, okay, if you're late for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'll
Jeremy.
I'll reconcile. Like, okay, traffic's bad. Like, okay, too many people. Like, okay, she's finding the place.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Okay, she got lost in the mall.
You give grace where it's needed. Yeah.
But I will check my messages. if you know that you're late and you're not messaging me after 10 minutes, right? Then those thoughts will start bursting, and then I'm gonna just go away. So I do, in a way, just give that goodwill, so to speak.
Good, because I was on my way and I slid off my motorcycle in the rain. So it wasn't purposeful, but I couldn't text you because I'm laying on the side of the road in the rain.
But I don't know what I don't know, you see, Jenifer.
I know. I'm totally joking. You're being really serious, and here I am teasing you. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I'm putting myself in that scenario. Okay, and then okay. This is one of my, well, no, let's do one more serious one, and then I'll get to Jenifer's one of my favorite ones that I actually threw in here. If you could relive one moment in your life, which would it be?
Wow.
Oh, I have an answer for that. And
okay, give it to us.
Kevin's gonna appreciate this one.
So,
I'm listening. I'm not thinking anymore. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So when I was younger, a friend and I were playing basketball against two of our other friends, right? And they were like whooping on us for the first half of the game, and it was a game up to like 12, and they were up like 10-3, and if anybody's seen the movie White Men Can't Jump, they were like talking smack, like white men can't jump, talking smack, right? So my friends and I just gave each other this look, and we were pissed off. We were like, all right, that's it. And so we went on this tear, and we literally beat them 12-10. They didn't score another point, and we just absolutely obliterated them for the rest of the game. And then we, in turn, started doing the same thing. You know, it's too easy and all that stuff. So one moment in my life, that was one of the most fun things that ever happened to me. And I would definitely relive that.
And that definitely should be uploaded to YouTube and on replay every second.
That was amazing.
They deserve that, probably. Sounds like.
It was fun.
That's awesome. I love it.
Relive.
Relive, huh?
This is relief, right? Go back to.
Yeah.
Don't change anything.
Nothing's changed. You're literally reliving it as if it's the first time.
Wow, I don't know, man. This one's hard. Okay. Okay, no, now it's not that hard. Relief. I guess it'll be my wedding day. It'll be my wedding day. Because it was very relaxing. Very, very relaxing. You know, you hear stories about people's wedding day. They wake up at 5-6 a.m. very stressed, traffic. And then they have to go through this ritual of, getting the bride out, perform stunts and stuff like that. And then afternoon, I don't know, photo shoot, and then tea ceremony, something the Chinese do. And then wedding dinner, change in clothes, all that stress, right? Giving speeches, and then meeting friends, get drunk, go end of the day, very late at night, and you still have to count the we call the red packets, right? Count the money, see if you broke even, all that. Mine was so relaxing because it was on a weekday. I had so much time, I was literally chilling with my two brother friends, right? You call those maid of honor and best man. It was just very relaxing. I had time to sit down, read the papers, and on the wedding dinner part, we planned it such that the newlyweds just go up to stage once, settle everything, go up, deliver a speech, everything. We're up once, done. And then the rest of the time was just me going around, talking to my friends, hanging out, and enjoying the wedding, enjoying it. We started at 8 p.m. At 11, we were already completely showered and just counting the red packets. So it was planned to be, it was planned to be relaxing. It was just like 24 tables. I mean, to be honest, we didn't even want to do the wedding dinner, but what was required was the tea ceremony, and I thought it's just going to be weird if we invited all the relatives to do the tea ceremony about 4 to 5 p.m. and you don't have a dinner. So the dinner was kind of an afterthought, but we intentionally kept it small So it's just really close group of people, and yeah, I'm just glad that my wedding I get the chance to really interact with the guests because of the way we planned it. And
that's awesome.
I would definitely relive that because it's just really great time, right? With all the people that matter to you, getting that day to really have time for them. Your big day, you're at the center of attention, and it was relaxing. So that would be the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Kevin sent me away and did all the decorating, did everything. So
Oh man.
yeah, he did it all. He did it all.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
if I was to relive it, that wouldn't be my day because I did it all. No, I'm just joking.
Thanks,
No,
Kevin.
but to get brownie points, right? So if I were to relive my day, I would say is actually I think when we had our first son, because and not so much the hospital, but the day we brought him home, because all the family was excited, and it was like, hey, we're like Jen and I created this baby, right? And it's something new, and it's the first time we, is in the image of both of us, and everyone was excited, like all the grandparents, everyone, and I got the opportunity to take a couple weeks off work and just be home. And when they're little, they can't do much. So they're cute, and you can just put them down, and they don't cry very loud. And the first few days, right, the mom does all the job. Does all the duty when
That's
they're
what
small.
I was thinking.
And it just makes whimpering noises, and it just needs to eat, so it's all her, So for a dad, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Unless you have 5 other kids, and then it's very hard for the dad.
That's why I said
that was our first one.
The second one wasn't as nice because I got to take care of the older one.
Yeah. There's a huge difference between the first and the second one, because when it's first one, the ratio is 2 adult to 1. When it's second kids is 1-on-1. The ratio is just very different. Yeah.
And there's a different dynamics to that picture too when you have 2, for sure.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, honey. That was really nice. Aldric. Then after Aldric, I'm gonna ask you guys a question from Kelsey Lips. So go ahead, Aldric.
Okay. To relive the moment again, right? It would be what I would like to. It would be those moments where I can prove myself again. It's I can think of. I'll just keep it to 2. So one would be when I was in the national championships for triathlon relay. The very first year I finished 4th, and I was in lockstep with the guy in 3rd. So the whole day during the run, we were side by side, and he only killed me at the final 100 meters where he was half a step ahead of me. I remember that whole day boiled down to the last 100 meters and that last second. So in our final results, he got onto the podium, but he was only like 1 nanosecond faster than me. Our timing was exactly the same. So I was like, so the next year when I went back, I was like, okay, I'm going to build all my self-destruction buttons all over me. So whenever someone comes, I'm going to press self-destruct, and I'll just go, like, even if it's hot sun and things like that. I just want to prove that I can do it again. And I did it. So that year, I finished 2nd.
Wow.
Awesome.
The competition against that first guy was 2 minutes ahead. So there wasn't a competition anymore. But the rest of us, there's 8 of us in a pack. We were jockeying for the podium. And I literally, instead of killing the rest of the people, I killed myself first. And I was very, very pleased about it. Because when I got past that finishing line, 3rd was behind me, probably 3 steps or 4 steps back, and 4th was behind the 3rd and things like that. And when I crossed that finishing line, I grabbed that tape, I lifted up for half a second, and I collapsed. Like, and I'm done. and it was so fun to me, but it was insane to all of you, that when the 3rd crossed the line, it collapsed. The 4th collapsed. The 5th collapsed. The 6th collapsed. All of us just collapsed. And we were crawling on the floor to get our water. And as we crawl, I extended my arms. Hey, well done. You know, like, hey, well done. Good run.
No thanks to you.
Yeah,
No thanks to you.
If I were to relive those moments, I think those are the moments where I was like, I want to be able to prove that I can do it again. You know, it's like, hey, I can do it again. Like, that's me. Like that half a second, that 1 second, that 1 nanosecond, it makes all the difference. And that brings me to the second that second thing that I want to relive again. When I was in secondary school, I had a very strong competitor. He's also my best friend academically. There was a year where when it comes to jockeying down to the first position, not just in class but in cohort, the only difference that I had with him for 800 points is half a point. That makes
No way.
difference. And I was so pleased that when I got home with my result slip, I just left it with my dad and I went to fall asleep because it felt like I needed to compensate for 1 year of mental absence. So I went back to sleep. So it was very fulfilling. I wanted to go through that again. I mean, my varsity years aside, but it's just like, hey, I can do it again. Hey, Aldric, you can do it again. And now it's like, I don't know if it's an effect of age or things like that. It's like, I find that the drive is no longer that strong when it's like 12 midnight or 1 a.m. But last time it's like, hey, go, I can go, I'm gonna finish you, you know, like go, I can finish you. Now it's like, I'm a little tired. Like, oh gosh, why am I feeling like this? This is weird, man. This is weird. No.
I think university students or college students run on pure adrenaline. When you get older, it's not there anymore. It just pops up every once in a while, and you're like, I got my adrenaline. Let's go, and then you fall in a heap later on. So, I mean, that's been my experience. It's just not the same. Like when you're in university, it's like you're unstoppable. You can do anything. Nothing's going to hurt you. Like you're just ready to go. You can stay up late nights and study or party or whatever people do, whatever their choices are. But it's, yeah. All right. That is awesome, Aldric. Thank you guys so much for sharing. We're going to go ahead and look at this question from Kelsey Lips. Mild sauce or hot sauce, baby? Okay, I added the baby part. But yeah, it's a good question.
Just let me understand one thing. What's a mild sauce?
You never had mild sauce?
Go ahead.
No, it might not be the way it's termed in Singapore. Like what is it?
It's slightly hotter than hot sauce.
What's hot sauce? Tabasco?
I thought mild is slightly less.
See, I call Tabasco for an Asian, it's like a mild sauce.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because it's more like American hot sauce seems vinegary and sweet to me.
Yes.
Right. So, like, even if I go to a Mexican restaurant, right? Well, let me correct that.
Hispanic.
Not an authentic Mexican restaurant or a Hispanic restaurant. Okay. There's a difference, right? They have some pretty hot sauce, but like a Tex-Mex or an Americanized Mexican restaurant like Taco Bell, that would be a mild sauce, right?
Yeah. So, well, I'll answer because, like I said, I answered in the chat. So, if I'm having wings, I want hot sauce. If I go to Taco Bell, there's literally a sauce called mild sauce, which I will have the mild sauce instead of the hot sauce. I like the flavor better. So that's for me.
So how hot is your hot? That's the question.
I don't like hot sauce is gonna burn your face. That doesn't feel to me. You know, when you have something that's so hot that you're like, this isn't even like good to eat. It's like burning my eyes. It's not fun. So
do you sweat? Do you sweat a little bit? Or a lot?
Or I'll definitely sweat when I'm eating some hot wings.
Okay, good. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Hot sauce, sorry. Hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Yeah, that I think for Singaporeans, you either take hot or you don't. There's nothing in between. Mild sauce is just, I mean, what is that even? You know, it just doesn't cut it. Just doesn't cut it. So when I was working in China, my boss goes for everything extra spicy, extra hot. And I think Kevin would know this, right? By the way, his wife is from Sichuan, so Sichuan is well known for
super
what we
spicy.
call mala, which in English loosely translated is numbing
Yes.
spiciness.
Hot
Right.
pot.
So so hot pot, right? Hot pot. So the worst that I ever had was the first time I took mala, some sort of a fish, and the peppery thing was the one that killed it. I couldn't feel my lips and tongue for the entire night. No feeling at all. So that kind of spiciness. Yeah. So I sort of developed a little bit on the spiciness part. But these days I don't take that much. But it's definitely hot. No, nothing mild. No.
So you burned your sensitivity a little bit. It's gone.
No. I don't take spiciness for a living. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on mood. And it's very hot and humid here in Singapore. So if you want to take something spicy, you be prepared to perspire and sweat a lot. And I don't sweat that much. So it's usually a informed choice whether I want to take something spicy today or not, depending if there's air conditioning or I'm out for the rest of the day. And there's no air conditioning. So all these factors have to come in. And usually after I get a haircut and I feel very cool, probably I'll take something spicy.
I love it. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah.
I like every type of hot sauce, but I like hot food that has flavor. And the thing is, I like very hot food. I want to sweat and the whole experience. But it's not good when it comes back out.
Oh my god! He loves it until after. He loves it during the process.
So I have to control what I eat. So
Aldric, what about you? Hot sauce, but it would be more of the Asian kind of a hot, where it's there's two types of looking at it. One is when you get the condiment outside of the food, and the other one is when they cook it with the food. Yeah. I like it when they cook it with the food. So it tastes more natural instead of like I think like McDonald's. I don't really like the idea of like there's a sauce and you pour on the food.
Yeah.
I like it in the food.
Yes.
Yeah. So hot sauce.
So if you guys didn't know, McDonald's actually produces different dishes that they do in test kitchens to match the taste of that individual country. So they'll have like some things that are typical McDonald's things that work globally, and then they'll have specialty sauces and dishes that works for the different countries. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I would visit McDonald's in Singapore just to see what your options would be that would be so different from here. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that was an awesome question. I'm going to have to move it a little bit more personal here. I hope you guys will forgive me for this. Okay. We're going to go a little deeper.
No.
A little deeper. What? No.
Yep. Do you clean between all your fingers and toes each time that you shower or bathe?
In between, what do you mean? Like in between the nails, or
clean? No, clean in between all the fingers and toes. I mean, that's what moms taught us to do growing up, because you get those little fuzzies down between, from the socks down in between your toes.
Man.
So it lets me know how detailed are you? Are you OCD personality? Are you super hygienic, or just kind of more the normal human being? And also, I wanted to throw you guys off.
Well, I'm super hygienic, but throughout my
because it's just gonna say the opposite.
You can say pass. Okay, go ahead.
Throughout my adult life, right? So I was a shower guy for a while, and as I got older, now I'm a bath guy. So even when we built our house, I was like, I have to have a bathtub, because all these new homes have these like rainfall shower heads, and I told my realtor, and I was like, hey, if we go build a new home, I have to have a bathtub. I want a home with a bathtub. But the thing is, I would say I take a casual dip.
Thanks, Kevin.
I just fill the water up, the tub, and I enjoy just sitting in there, right? And then I started getting lazier, just like a typical man does. And then I was like, now I understand why kids do bubble baths and women, because I started translating, okay, it's like the lazy way of doing social media content, right? So I just squirt the bubble bath into my bath, and I fill it up, and I see all the bubbles, and I take a casual dip, lay there, relax, and then sometimes I catch myself. I never actually scrub. You know, I just enjoy this casual dip, and I feel really clean and I was like, now I know why women do this, because you got all this. I steal Jenifer's products, and I start like going at it, in the tub.
He's lying. I buy him his own products.
Well, now she buys me the products. And so my definition of a clean bath is the smells, right?
Yes.
As long as I smell good, I must be clean.
Yes.
Kevin,
never mind the toes.
Never mind. Forget the toes and fingers. Okay, go ahead, Aldric.
No, the comments that are coming and having a life of their own, mostly they are all from females, and they are probably responding high on what you say. I'm like,
you go, girls. You go, women. You tell them.
Okay, I'm not that particular. I just know that I had to have a good bath, but OCD for me applies a lot more to the way I look at work rather than my personal life. At my personal life, I'm like, my mind's off, like, I can put my pen where my spoons are sometimes, like, and I'm like, because I was thinking about something, and then I was like, shit, where's my pen? And then I would hear in the background, my mom would be like, who put his pen here with my spoons? I was like, oh, okay. I'm that kind of person. Like when I review copies that's written by my mentees, one look I can see that, oh, we didn't start a sentence with a capital. Oh, there should be a comma here, you didn't have it. There's a period but you missed it. Yes, I do. But outside of work, I'm like, okay, okay. Oh, there's a bread here. Is this bread for me? Never mind. I'll just eat it. That's me.
So you're super detailed in the work arena, but not so much in the personal life. Not as worried or concerned about that. The question is, do you go to work with clean fingers and toes? That's all we want to know.
Yes.
I would say the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Woo! Yeah. Okay, as long as they're clean.
I'll answer really quick. Yes, Jenifer, I do. I'm a stickler for that kind of stuff. So
there we
go. I make sure that the crevices are all clean, because I don't know, I get out of the bath and I feel like something was missed.
Yes. Yes. Now that is. Yes.
Yeah. So I am absolutely a stickler for that kind of stuff. So the answer is yes.
Well, I love knowing that. Absolutely. Jeremy,
mine's a yes. Mine's a yes and no. Let me explain. Hands, fingers and toes are quite different, because now you get to wash your hands so much more often. So when you shower, it's not really that a conscious effort, because the 20-second rule, whatever, all that stuff. So
you do all this and then this,
all that,
and all that and then this and.
I try.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, but my wife might say otherwise. Sometimes I forget. So after taking the parcel from the delivery man, that kind of thing. So why the yes and the no? The no for the toes is for me. Okay, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I don't consciously. It's not part of the routine. But yes, because I do it for my son when I shower him. So definitely, the toes I'll do it every time in between. But not so much for myself. So yeah, so that's the yes and the no.
And I think one of the reasons why I asked that question is it all goes back to upbringing, because parents feel, I need to help my kids learn to clean between their toes and think about those things behind the ears. But as we become adults, we're like, I'm standing in the shower. It'll clean itself, you know, and then we just walk out, you know, and then plus the shower is harder than if you're in a bath soaking. So, so Susan says, Miss Susan Yates, thank you for being on here. We love it. Obsessional personality, very useful for becoming excellent at things, but only if you're in charge of it. IMO. Okay. Extroverts find it easier to let go of things, but get carried away if they don't take charge of their impulses. Being human is a tough call. I have to say, I 100% agree with that. Especially, I have been obsessional myself in the past, and have overcame some OCD. And extroverts, I totally understand what she's saying. So, do you guys identify with that?
Depends
I'm
on
not
what.
very obsessed with my bath time. I just put soap in there and then jump in. So I am definitely not OCD.
You are about other things, and also you're not as much an extrovert. You're an introvert. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Giving all my secrets
I'm
away.
also an introvert.
I know, because you don't. Huh?
Tim?
Say what?
I said I'm also kind of an introvert. Nobody would guess that, but when I turn off LinkedIn, I turn all the lights off in my house and I sit here nice and quiet, alone.
Yeah.
You should, Tim. You should try the bath thing.
You made it sound so appealing. I was literally putting in the chat like I gotta put some Cardi B and Bruno Mars "Please Me" on and just sit there.
And one candle, and there is manly scents. Or some people, even some men, like citrus.
Just one candle. You can't have like the candles lined up.
One candle, or you can put some essential oils like lavender drips or something. Never use peppermint. Kevin can attest to that. Never put peppermint drips. I put way too much one time in his bath, and it just burned him. Okay, so oh yeah, and Kelsey Lips said that you can take your bath with your teddy bears, Tim, with them there. So, okay,
I find this fascinating because when we first know Timothy, he's a no-nonsense guy, straight shooter. But now, if you're gonna continue hugging the teddy bear, do you realize the ramifications down the road? People are just going to start having you associated with, like seriously, daddy with the teddy, and if that sticks, that's it.
It's already stuck. It's not going anywhere.
No, yeah, that's correct. I mean, it's definitely brought some attention to the mainstream media. So I think this guy
really.
I think this guy's here to stay.
Good branding.
BUP Teddy. Bottoms up perspective teddy bear here. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask this question and then I'm gonna rephrase it so that it doesn't come across wrong. What's the weirdest thing? What's the weirdest thing that you have done or that you do when you're alone? And I don't mean the grossest thing that you do. I mean the weirdest thing that you do when you're alone. When no one's watching, do you break out a big dance session? That's the kind of things I'm going for here.
You said weirdest thing?
Yeah, the weirdest thing that you do when you're alone, like dancing around your kitchen with the mop or just something that no one would know about you.
I mean, I don't know if it's weird because I feel like a lot of people do it. I will definitely throw on some music and dance myself and really don't care. So
I've never done that, Tim, so I can't even imagine.
I'm just joking. I love music. If you guys couldn't tell, I love the hell out of music. So I will throw on some music and just jam. And I really don't care if somebody sees me. It's cool. So.
Anybody else? Kevin? Jeremy?
Why Kevin?
If you want to say pass, you can pass. Okay, I'm not here to embarrass anybody or but if you want to share, then it's fun.
I can go first if that helps.
Okay, go ahead, Aldric.
When I'm alone, right?
When you're all alone, just
yeah. So when I'm alone at home, I would entertain what my mind tells me to. So, but most of the time, it's really this imagination that I'm finally giving a TED talk. So I would play with the lights, and then just have one light at one spot. I'll just walk there and just soak in that imaginary atmosphere, like, finally I've arrived there. And then I'm just thinking that I'm talking, everyone's listening. I was like, oh, my days to create content twice a day is over. Like, oh, okay. I think about that.
I like it. No, I like it, and I appreciate you sharing that, because that that image will forever be stuck in my head. I love it.
Yeah, and there was once when I did it. When I was still living with my parents. My dad came home and he's like, "Oh, son, what are you doing?" I was like, I'm just practicing for my presentation. Just leave me alone." And he's like, and he just walked back in this room. That was,
and I believe you'll make it. So just keep heading in that direction. That's awesome. That's a great goal.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of my future goals too. So I will join you on stage someday.
I think I'm gonna rock it.
I love it. Jeremy, Kevin.
Can't think of anything like weird.
I already share with you my weird bath time.
Yeah, so. that was pretty TMI, like
it's
very
pretty
intimate.
Authentic. No, I doubt anyone on LinkedIn is sharing their bath time. All right.
Hashtag bottoms up live.
So we'll let that experience cover 2 questions. That'll work for me. Jeremy, did you think of anything?
I don't know. Maybe well, most of the time, if I'm alone by myself, it'll be like, when I used to be on business trips. Nobody's going anywhere these days, right? Business trips, and you're all alone in your hotel room. You've done your calls with your wife and kids, and then what do you do if there's no work, right? A few things maybe, but not in the realm of weird. I don't think it's weird. It's just quite normal. I do that bath thing. Once in a while when I'm alone in the hotel room, just because in Singapore, where I live, we don't have that bathtub. You don't have that luxury. It's just standing shower. Yeah. So I do that. When I'm alone in the hotel room, and then and then I'll just be in the bathrobe the entire night. No, just naked and just the bathrobe, and probably sleep in that. Yeah. So not really weird, but
is there someone beside you?
Nah. For the purpose of life, nah. No, the premise.
His wife is home.
No. The premise of the question is when you're alone. So yeah, alone.
Alone with his bathtub and his bathrobe, and I'm just glad that he didn't sleep in the bath with his bathrobe on. That's good.
No.
You did wear the bathrobe and come out. That's good. Huh?
That's a hashtag bathrobe freedom.
Yes. Okay. This is actually one of my favorite questions for the whole night. Because it's what I was talking about with you, Jeremy, before the show. This is that term that I ask a lot of people and they don't know what it is. If you do, that's awesome. Kevin's not allowed to be a part of this because he's actually the one that introduced it to me originally. But I want to hear your answers before I actually reveal it to you, and I'm going to reveal it through a screen share. No one Google Timothy DeJesus, okay? No one is Googling here, okay? What do you think the term lumbersexual means?
Oh my God, no way.
Can you say that again?
Okay, and this is for the audience participation too, so put it in the comments below. What do you think the term lumbersexual means? And don't Google it, Aldric.
That's lumber as in LUMBER.
Yes,
and
lumbersexual. Lumbersexual.
I mean, if you were to translate it kind of literally, it would mean you love wood.
Oh, good.
Your sexual preference is lumber and bark.
Yeah, which I mean, now
tree lover.
Tree lover.
Love wood, especially morning wood. So that
tree hugger.
I-
A tree
You
hugger.
asked me to answer the
Oh my
question.
gosh.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're gonna love this then. Anyone else have a guess?
Hey,
I
Tim,
figured
we're talking
that-
about bath time and wood.
Yeah, morning
This
wood.
is headed in a wrong direction right now. I'm just joking. I'm teasing. No, I wouldn't have thought of that actually, but that makes sense.
For all you
Tim.
human resource folks.
Yeah.
This is HR nightmare right here.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Tim, but I think you got it wrong. Lumber, as in lumberjack, is the person that cuts wood, right? So
Ooh.
timber sexual will be, the realm of the wood. Timber.
Timbersexual.
Timbersexual. Well, now
All
I
right,
didn't
no,
say.
lay the answer on us, Jennifer.
Okay.
Is Aldric cheating?
Aldric's
Aldric, are you
Googling.
cheating? Aldric, you
No, I'm
can't
not,
cheat. Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna do a screen share with everybody.
Wait, I want to hear Aldric's answer.
I don't have.
Well, I'm not gonna
have
show
are
him
images.
yet.
All I have are images.
Aldric's mind is in a very bad place. Right
Yeah, it's very bad state. Like,
Can
okay.
everybody see it?
I can't.
No.
now. Oh,
Oh, wait.
oh, there we go.
Oh, beard.
Before-
Lumberjack.
Okay. Now I'm actually gonna. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the. Let me see if I can do it from here. I'm actually going to put this into the comments, what it is. I mean, I think you guys have already figured it out. So, Jeremy, the reason why I was saying that you would like it is because this actually has to do with a style, a type of man and their style.
Right.
Just
So-
like, yes, go ahead.
So it's like a lumberjack, right? So I wasn't off. Lumberjack type of style.
Exactly. You were totally headed in the right direction. So I actually love that you threw that in there. But I love Timothy's answer too, because that was just fun. And that's what I wanted it to be. Let me just put it in here real quickie.
So instead of like metrosexual, which is probably along the lines of what I'd be considered, this is
Exactly.
lumbersexual. You got this monster. You got the monster beard with somebody who's got the plaid and shit. All right.
So if you read the definition, it actually means a young urban man who cultivates an appearance and style of dress. This is typically using a beard and a plaid shirt, suggestive of a rugged outdoor style. So right now in the US, this has been a big style. And I have to say, I don't agree with their definition in that I've seen a lot of older men also pull off this style really well. I would actually be interested also in your thoughts because in our country, it's true, a lot of baristas are this style, but not all. So, Kevin, Timothy, what do you say about that?
Because I think it leads to a great conversation, right? Since we are on LinkedIn, and we are, there's a group of us that's in the East, and there's Tim, Jen, and I were in the West, right? It's very interesting because this is a style in America retail today, in a lot of our marketing ads and different things. But you probably will not find this in Asia because we can never get that,
Yeah.
So we're more the Korean pop, smooth skin, skinny legs, tight pants, trendy hairstyle. That's more models you see in Asia. So and that shows kind of marketing from a cultural perspective, I think, because that would not go in Asia. Correct me if I'm right.
No. Absolutely right. I mean, in the past decade or so, it's been K-pop culture. I think prior to that, it's probably like a few decades back, probably J-pop, Japanese. So the K-pop definition for guys, right? At least is like you mentioned, Kevin, but more of the pretty boy image, very clean, definitely shaven. Pretty boy style, nothing like this. And I just like to add to the definition. It says suggestive of a rugged outdoor lifestyle. Either that or suggestive of a lockdown, stay-at-home lifestyle. One or the other. I do think this trend caught on because everyone's on lockdown. They were growing beards, and hey, maybe a plaid shirt will go better with a beard. I don't know. Maybe that's how this thing took off.
Well, and this is also like I think, you know, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but some races of people like Americans tend to be very I've been around a lot of hairy ones. So like if you notice like on his chest there's a lot of hair. I think some races are more hairy and can adapt to the style, and some are not. You know, some go better with the metrosexual or the like if you see this guy wearing some makeup, it's going to be really weird compared to like a Korean a younger gentleman who's doing the K-pop style. So so that's not to say, you know, that anyone's better than the other, but I think styles work with different cultures depending on, you know, who they are or what stands out in that race of people. There you go.
If you guys catch me rocking anything like that, I want you to take me out back and I just want you guys to just beat the hell out.
Hey, I would hire Aldric to take care of that for us. He said he would spank you, so.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he'll be the spanker of the BUP group. We'll let him discipline and whatever needs to happen there.
But truthfully, this style does it attract you, Jenifer?
This style?
The lumber sexual, does it attract you?
Okay, I will say this. It looks good on some men. There are men that make it attractive, that make it an attractive style. In general, no. I mean, and Kevin's here, and I'm not trying to be inappropriate, but I prefer a less hairy man.
What about the guy on the screen right now?
I would be more attracted. I would probably be more attracted to him than a lumbersexual. Personally, that's just me. I do think a lumbersexual is very manly, more so than this Korean young dude. But I just can't handle all that hair. I can't do it. You know, I think of my dad when I see huge beards. I can't do it. Kelsey Lips is like, nope. So which one are you saying no to, Kelsey?
That's funny.
You have to tell us. Put it in the comments. Would you guys go with the Korean dude, or you know, it's got the rock of the hair and the makeup, or would you lean more toward the hairy bearded guy in plaid shirts? So you can do that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on then. That was amazing.
Kelsey said she's with Jen, so.
Thank you, Kelsey.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Okay.
But yeah, Aldric's gotta go.
Very fun one. It's a very fun one.
Bye.
We'll see what you're gonna do.
See ya, Aldric.
I'll catch up.
Bye,
Yeah,
Aldric.
bye.
See you later.
Don't leave things behind me when I'm not around. I know what happened during the last webinar that day.
Aldric's gonna go dye his hair blonde right now.
So we promised.
He's got a hair appointment.
All right, guys, have fun.
Okay, see you.
See ya.
See you.
Bye-bye. All right, so let's talk about Aldric. No, I'm just joking.
Well, but I think it's funny. So while we're on that topic, right? I was looking up on so they had this article about like they actually have in plastic surgery, because I have some clients that are in the cosmetic dental realm and skincare, that type of thing. But they were telling me there is actually a very popular trend in plastic surgery, which it's like the K-pop look.
Yeah.
So it's actually one of the hottest, like people go into plastic surgeons and want the K-pop look. And I was like, really? And this is happening in America, not just Asia.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I have
it's
enough
becoming
hair
popular.
now, so maybe I should just dye it blonde and I'll be all right.
You should definitely do it. Definitely start with highlights though to make sure that you adjust yourself, because I have gone.
Little frosted tips.
I've gone away. I've gone all the way blonde, and it was scary. It was definitely scary. So I would start out with the highlights there first. Okay, which one of your personality traits are you most proud of?
Oh,
Mine is my individuality, because I'm just not afraid to be me. That's mine personally.
I like it. That's awesome.
Mm.
There's no wrong answer either.
I like to think that I'm humorous, so I think that's pretty cool. Let's keep it as that.
I agree with that, and I'm starting to see it come out more and more, and I love it. It's welcome. I love it.
So overall, I think I am pretty confident. So, so.
That you are.
That is actually my favorite thing about Kwok. Yeah.
You just told the world about your bathing habits.
Exactly. I lay there in the bubbles and enjoy the smell and don't scrub anything. Thank you so much for that.
Don't judge me.
She's the one that has to sleep with me.
I know. I was like, I didn't know. Like, I thought he was like so super, like a clean freak every night, And I was like, wow, he takes about it.
He's there for hours. What's he doing?
It's the smell. It tricks you. It's the smell.
That's all he's doing to me. I'm really worried.
Hey, Jeremy, it's no different than marketing.
Yeah.
I take marketing in all areas of my life, including my bathing.
No. The smell aspect is really, really very powerful. And whenever when people say, what's the difference between physical stores and online, one of the things I always say is the smell is very important because of two reasons. Number one, it's something you can't replicate in stores. On online, right? You can't express smell on online stores, right? And the other thing is that your nose has probably the longest memory of things. Whatever you smell, you can remember the smell, right? So now if I have a certain smell, then you would take me back to when I was in a certain hotel room in Hong Kong, the smell, you get that association very well with the smell memory. So smell is very important.
And I know there's one hotel here in Kansas City, probably more than one, but I know one right off the top of my head that is they actually have a company that creates their own scent. So when you walk through that hotel, you smell that. And it smells, I don't know how they do it, but it smells very high end. So when I smell that smell, which is pretty much only at their place since it's specialty, but it has such a high end smell. And I'm like, how do I get this in my home? I want this smell, but they special make it. So it's not anything that you can get a hold of. Yep. But that's true. Scent memory is very huge for marketing. I agree. So Kevin does a good job with his marketing to me.
Scent marketing.
Okay. How do you guys like your sushi?
Ooh.
Sushi.
Or do you like sushi?
Yeah. Okay. Well, with a little bit of wasabi and the soy sauce, right?
Yeah. Yes, or I'm kind of going more for do you like sashimi, like the raw one? Do you like all veg? Do you like fried? How do you like
definitely fried. I'm not so big fan of raw stuff, just because I don't want to have a tummy issue. So but fried stuff usually work for me. Fried and then the vegetable stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I like sashimi, so I like the raw stuff with a lot of wasabi. So.
Yeah, I do sushi or sashimi, and salmon is my favorite. A little soy sauce, a little wasabi.
Yes. Yep. Kevin and I literally will order a whole boat, or like a huge bowl of sashimi. We love it.
Yep.
So
good stuff.
Now the sauce is important, though. The sauce is important. I like that. We have a special seafood sauce that I love over here. But All right. What is your, and we're getting closer to the end here. Actually, we're right at the end here. What's your go-to guilty pleasure?
Ooh.
Like, for example, that would be like something that you really shouldn't eat, or that's not healthy for you, but you really enjoy it, or you like to spend money on certain like skincare products or something, and then you feel guilty maybe, but you really enjoyed it. For me, it's chocolate.
Yeah, mine is ice cream. I can't stay away from ice cream, and it's terrible. I'd honestly be like 10 pounds lighter if I could get away from ice cream.
That's a good one.
So,
Kevin?
yeah, so I'll share. So, this is the only thing being an introvert, I think this is the only thing I missed during the pandemic. So,
Sorry.
I'm a sucker for buffets. So
Ah,
I love indulging in like a good buffet, like either crab legs or like all you can eat meat, Brazilian meat type house, and then I feel guilty afterwards, right? Because it's expensive, So you try to indulge and you try to get your money's worth, right? You eat so much. So you'll probably get a heart attack and kill yourself, But you should eat till you're so uncomfortable, and then you're in that bathtub for hours. But,
letting the toxins get out of your body. All that meat sweat get out of your body.
So now, when you guys are talking about the first thing I thought of, to be honest with you, right? When Jen goes, "Hey, we got to go visit Jeremey and Aldric in Singapore," and my first thought is, I'm like, man, the buffets are amazing. So I started looking up all the buffets in the hotels, but I don't think if we'll ever have buffets again because of the pandemic.
It's gonna go away. It's gonna go away. Yeah.
So,
I don't even know how they're gonna do it, right? You're just gonna order whatever you want from the buffet catalog, and then they'll just, I don't know, send it to you on the table. I don't know how's that gonna work. Yeah.
So
I don't know either.
Yep.
But you would think during the 4 months or whatever that we've been in quarantine that we would have lost 20 pounds, but it didn't work that way. I don't know why.
Create your own buffet at home.
Yeah. I'm still trying to flatten the curve between my chest and my legs.
Oh my gosh.
Try flattening that curve, right? That's not gonna happen. So my guilty pleasure, other than the the drink that I have very easily accessible to me, it's probably this one. I have it right next to me on my study table / computer, so you can imagine. I indulge with pretty much this chips thing.
Ooh.
Chipster spicy.
Chipster potato chips, hot and spicy.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So it's a huge pack. It's spicy. I sometimes finish. I try not to have it finish the entire pack in a single night. So I probably go through it to 2 nights. And usually I have this killer combination in the middle of the night watching a movie, preferably horror. So that's my guilty pleasure. Horror and guilty pleasure because it's a love and hate thing. And guilty pleasure because I know I'll be just watching it so late into the night. I'm not going to be wake up tomorrow, or the next day is just going to be completely crap for me. So that's the guilty pleasure part.
I know that's so hard when you're an adult because you're like, you can't just do those late night horror movies and eat all that food, and then you still have to wake up the next day and do your responsibilities. So that's a good one. That's exactly. That happens. That's so true. Because sometimes you need to just de-stress, like during the work week, even, we try to wait till weekend, but sometimes I just need a good movie on the weekday, the weeknight. Yeah. So, I do a lot of movies, but these days it's just a lot of terrible ones, terrible movies, waste of time. And this just sucks.
Oh, by the way, because at J29, we do have a production side of our company. So I've been kind of looking at where the cinematic and the whole commercial industry's going. So they're talking about 100% like they're starting to create sets in virtual reality. So a lot like the Lion King movie, and like what's the Star Trek? Is it Star Wars? I forgot. It's the Disney one on Disney Flicks. But they're talking about all the scenes are going to be created in virtual, and they can actually film. So a lot of there's not going to be sets anymore because of the pandemic, and it's actually going to lower the budget of the whole industry. It's crazy. It's actually cheaper to produce films that way. So,
well, honestly, I don't care if you do it virtual or live, but you need a good storyline, good acting. I think those are more important. I mean, how often you see all these indie movies, really low budget, but it's really engaging and captures your attention. So I guess I've watched enough movies, right, to know that those AAA ones, they say, right, action movies, as long as it involves helicopters and explosions, is probably a bad story, right? So yeah, it's happening here in marketing as well. Just this week, the marketing team was talking about doing a virtual exhibition booth rather than going to a real exhibition and have a booth there because of this whole entire pandemic thing. So it's changing everything. This entire pandemic thing, VR, 3D, virtual reality. Yeah.
Yep.
I think, I don't know if robots will come into play. They've been talking about it for years. Robots or machines that are replacing, people in the workforce at different types of jobs. A lot of the, like, Hey Google, Siri, all of that, it's all hands off where you can just, use your voice, like voice commands and a lot of that type of stuff. So thank you, Susan. Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Thank you, then.
Also, I have to agree. I hope I'm saying this right. Keon, he said, that keep that food coming. He said, keep the food coming. We'll just do buffets at home. That's definitely something that Kevin and I, everything that we miss out on, we improvise at home. So he doesn't get his buffets, so we create them. We've literally been we're way overeating because we're just all so happy we're together, we're stuck, and so we just make it awesome. So that could be good and bad right there, actually. So I have a couple more questions and then we'll finish up here. It's basically just going back into career and LinkedIn. What's your pet peeve on LinkedIn? What bothers you the most on this being on this on this platform?
This is where we need Aldric.
I know. He's gonna be so sad he missed this.
I'll go. I think it's still a struggle. Right? I try not to be judgmental, but it's really the part. I think Jenifer, we have talked about this before. The Let's Connect posts. Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it bothers me, but it bothers me because to be honest, I'm always thinking maybe I should do that. Maybe I shouldn't. I want to do that because I want to get my content out, but then it doesn't really, it's not what I'm after. So it's always been a struggle. So that's kind of like my pet peeve, and that's why I did that. Let's engage post instead, right? Offering people an alternative. Yeah. So that's me.
That's awesome.
Tim.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, let's pass the ball to Tim.
Yeah,
Come on,
I try
Tim.
not to be judgmental, so I'm also trying to not have this major pet peeve. I think the only pet peeve I have is a lot of people. There's such repetitive content. Like if you scroll if you scroll your feed, a lot of people will be talking about the same things over and over. That's probably my pet peeve.
So for me, Jen gets to hear about it, but I think I've been around social media for so long, and I just see the trend, right? And I live it because it's how I make money to feed my family. So I think what bothers me is a lot of people don't really have an open mind about the way you do things, right? So when it comes to marketing and social media, there's no absolute, right? There's no, it really bothers me when everyone steps onto these platforms and act like, hey, I'm the next big expert on finance, and then or consulting business, or marketing and everything. And what's really interesting to me, it's great if you've been in the industry, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I start looking at their like jobs, and last year they worked at Buckle, you know,
oh gosh, sorry,
at a coffee shop. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great. And then all of a sudden they have like 50K followers, right? And they're just like spitting bombs on how to create content, and you don't know what you're doing. Like, have respect for people. And then, you pretty much discredit all the guys that are maybe 50 plus that are CMOs, making $500,000 at companies. And you're telling them they are wrong and they don't know anything. And that bothers me, because it's like, give credit where it's due, right? They didn't get there because they're idiots. Yeah, the generations has changed. These vehicles have changed, but those guys know something. Okay, that's how they became, the CMO of North Face or Nike or whatever, And I understand there's this freedom to produce content, right? But at the same time, you have to respect everyone else, right? There's too many people that is like, this is the definite way to do it. It might work out for you. Example, if you're an influencer out there and you're able to cuss and grow a following, good for you. But it might not work for someone else because that's not their personality. So you can't just go tell someone to be funny when they can't be funny because they're just not a funny person. But then we're like shoving these ideas down people's throats and expect people to pay you thousands of dollars so you can tell them to be something that no way they'll become that, because it's just not part of them. Right. And all of a sudden you put on this hat like you're an expert. And so that stuff it just kills me, because I'm like, I'm Kevin Kwok because I'm Kevin Kwok. This is how I'm born. This is how I am. I can't go, hey, Tim, pay me $3,000 a month and I'm going to tell you how to be Kevin Kwok.
I mean,
and
you could.
I'm going to promise you all these followings and everything, And I think there's different ways around the game when it comes to social media, marketing, saving money, everything, right? No one know it all, right? It's like you can take a Honda and arrive at your destination, or you can take a Jaguar or a Lamborghini. But we all end up at the destination. And it's just everyone can take a different route, right? But respect that route and focus more on yourself. Stop focusing on others. Like, stop being trolls and commenting on people's things and say they don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
That's
my pet peeve.
Yeah, I've tried 10 years to be like Kevin, and it's never worked for me. So I finally gave up and just love myself here. No, I'm just joking. So again, Keon had a comment here, and I think it's definitely we need to share this. His pet peeve is thinking that I'm offering or selling something because I shared your post. So, like sometimes, I think, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is sometimes I think, going back to what Jeremy was saying, the connection requests, I think sometimes people are trying to connect they do certain things in order to get you to notice so that you'll want to connect with them, because then I feel bad. You shared my post. I'm not even connected with you. I feel like I should connect with you because you shared, which is not a big deal. It's not a bad thing either, but it's interesting kind of how they do that. So
that's a good point, really, because sometimes people share my post. I never thought about connecting. I just thank them, privately message, thank them I just put a comment, like a comment, Thank you for sharing. But I never thought of connecting. I don't know why that is. Yeah, good point.
Well, and I think sometimes people, for example, I have a lot of people that, and some may really mean it, but some people I feel like endorse me so that I'll endorse them back. So it's they don't really know me, they've never talked to me, but they're all of a sudden you get this endorsing thing, and of course I'm going to thank them, and I do appreciate that. But you don't know any, like, you don't know me, and then I'm supposed to endorse you back. I don't know you, but I'm saying you're highly skilled, or you're good at this, and this. I don't even know you. I've never even talked to you. Now it's different if we've had at least one conversation. I'm like, wow, he's been in this for 20 years and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, sometimes I try to extend the favor back when I look down through what experiences that they've had for how long, you know, as long as they're not lying. And then and I look at their content, and then sometimes I'll just say thank you, you know. But hey, one other thing, Jeremy, on the connection, on the connection request, since that is super annoying, you know, to have those, they started filling up my feed. I mean, like, you know, thank you guys, I'm at 20,000 connections now, you know, and then they're like, let's connect today, and then everybody's like, let's connect today. And I'm like, every other post is let's connect. Like, there's no value on my feed right now at all. And so the way that I clean that up is, number one, I don't always connect with lions. And that's not to say I won't. It's just I'm more selective who I connect with. Number two, I unfollowed a lot of people. Every time I see a connection post like that, I immediately unfollow them, because they're not going to just do that one time. They're going to keep doing that so they can build really quick. Now, I don't unfriend them or whatever, or disconnect from them. I just unfollow. Okay, so you've lost my respect because you're not bringing value to me. I'm, you know, and so everything I do is based on bringing value. Yeah, exactly, Kelsey. 20,000 connects and only 30 likes. I've seen people who have 20,000 connections and keep trying to add more, and that's literally all they post every day is let's connect. That's all they do. And then thank you to this person, thank you to that person, thank you to this person, and I'm like, but you know, it's interesting. We could go in forever on that. But now I don't see any of those. None. It's all gone. So
LinkedIn's right now cleaning house. That's why the algorithm slowed down.
Yeah.
They're looking for authenticity. So we're not just teaching that because we are authentic, which we are, but we're also teaching that because that is what should be and what will be on this platform. And so those who are authentic are the ones that are going to last through it all. Okay, last question. If you could have one wish granted in your life, in your career, or your business, what would you wish for? One wish. I'm a genie. Give it to me.
Financial freedom.
That's a good one. That's amazing. I love it. Thanks, Tim.
One wish. I want to go back. I want to go back in time and live my life again, but with the existing knowledge I have with me back as a baby. So that's what I wish for.
That's what my 8-year-old wishes for too.
Awesome. Smart kid.
No,
smart kid.
No, what I mean is that didn't sound right. He is super smart. And no, he actually, you're doing it from a different angle where you're like, I'm already here, but I want to take this knowledge and start again, but with all my wisdom and experience and knowledge in my brain. He wishes he was just born knowing everything because learning is boring. So he just, yeah. And that's what I meant by that. I'm like, and I go, buddy, that goes against the whole point of life, which is start at 0 and go to being a hero. Okay.
Right.
You gotta work at it. It's you know, he just hates the whole work thing.
But if you ask me when I was 8, I would say I would wish to live forever. Immortality. However, I think some point in my time, I shared that with, I think, one of my very good friend and my best friend. And he was saying, why do you want that? Why do you want to see all your friends, your relatives, your loved ones die before you? And I thought about it, like, man, that's true. That's profound. I was like, okay, I'm not going to wish that for that anymore. So
Wow.
you know,
I love that
changed,
though.
that changed me, really.
So since we're talking about perspective, I really love that, because you're saying, here's what I want now, here's what I wanted before. It's interesting how that's changed perspective.
Yeah, so for me, I think is being able to truly just be able to kind of know the mind of other people, right? Being able to understand them and being able to truly hear. Because if I can solve that part, you know, then I can make money. Then I'll gain financial freedom to be really understand, like, hey, what are they thinking? You know, so.
Kelsey Lips said she wants her own island, so she can join. She can join Aldric in his shopping
for the small price of $600,000.
Yeah. No, that's actually not that bad if you can finance it.
Yeah. Yep.
Kevin just likes
hey,
to.
We can all go in. I'm buying an island.
Right,
the bottoms up island.
The bottoms up island. We can vacation. It has to have coconuts and mangoes, guys. I won't buy an island if there's no fruit trees. Okay, I'm just saying.
So talking about this, while I was in Cambodia, I met the guy that was head of what they call CEO Master Club. They actually syndicated and bought an island, and they call it the Love Island. And so they that's where they filmed Survivor.
Oh,
so the group of CEOs actually owns that island they filmed Survivor. So I thought that was interesting. I never knew that you could buy islands until I met those guys. So yeah,
you can.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting.
Thanks for the questions, Jen.
And join us next Wednesday. We'll be back to kind of the norm, but we could talk about saying no, right? The importance of being able to say no. So
no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want. No, no way. I'm not gonna be on.
And Tim and I are gonna come up with our own hashtags for next time. Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. It's been fun.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Devin. Thanks, Tim. Bye.
Bye. Bye.